the JMU Alumni Association are teaming up to bring you this free Matazone HD Sportsnet feature presentation from Harrisonburg, Virginia, and the campus of James Madison University. Welcome to NCAA Women's Basketball live from the JMU Convocation Center as the JMU Dukes open the 2013 season by hosting the Virginia Cavaliers. Tonight's game is being presented to you by the JMU Alumni Association, Comcast Sportsnet, the JMU Graduate School, Intellis Wireless, the JMU Bookstore, Residence Inn, and Fox Hill Townhomes. And a pleasant good evening to you on opening night for JMU women's basketball. I'm Taylor Mickelberry. We'll bring in my partner Houston Stutz in just a moment, as well as hear from Bree Berry and Tracy Smith throughout the evening. But first, JMU is coming into this season after a fantastic 2012-2013 campaign. They finished 25-11 overall and 14-3 in the CAA, losing only to Delaware twice during the regular season and Drexel in the CAA semifinals. They had a great run into the WNIT until Florida came here into the Convo, defeated the Dukes 85-80. It was the first loss in postseason on the Convo floor here in recent memory. And Florida went on to lose to the eventual WNIT champions, fellow CAA foe Drexel. But that was all last year. We started new here tonight with all of that in our rearview mirror. And the ladies of JMU, they're ready to start this year's campaign with Virginia. Virginia is a team that the Dukes they've had their number in the regular season last 2 years in Charlottesville, losing in 2011 59-53, and last year losing 78-57. UVA would eventually finish last year's season 16-14 overall. They lost in the ACC tournament. And don't forget, Houston, the WNIT here at Convo within the last 2 years, that was a victory for the JMU Dukes.
They played great in those WNIT, and the good thing about the Dukes this year, though, they're aiming for the NCAA tournament. They're trying to get back there, and they're going to have a great season to do so. They bring back a lot of leaders to this team. They only lose Tariq Hislop, but they got Kirby Burkhalter voted CAA preseason player of the year by the media at the media day in Baltimore. They returned Nikki Newman, who again, she was out last year with a broken foot. She played 8 games, but now she's got another attempt at her senior year, and she's going to be very strong defensively for the Dukes, so they're going to need all of her leadership. But you also return Toya Jiggets, Jasmine Watley, Precious Hall. Everybody now has experience underneath their feet.
Well, and you mentioned Tariq Hislop, and averaging 16.4 points last year. That's tough to make up. But those players you just mentioned, you're getting them back. Precious Hall, Jasmine Watley, they're going to be able to spread out maybe those 16 points, or somebody could step up here. You're going to bring back also Muff Mickens. She's coming back into the fold. And then you've got these new young ladies in here as well, some of the freshmen coming in, or some of the transfers as well. I think it's going to be a very big year for this team, and it starts tonight against the Virginia Cavaliers.
I'm glad you mentioned Angela Mickens, Muff as they call her. She's got great ball handling skills. Look for her role to step up a lot this year, as well as Destiny Jones. And Mickens, she can handle the basketball. We saw in that exhibition game.
Oh, yeah, we were here for the exhibition game against Lenore Ryan, and man, we saw it from her last year, but how about all the times she just drives in under the basket and will fall over, but flip it up and somehow make it.
It's something to look forward to tonight.
Great skills. The Dukes heavily favored to win the CAA this year. They're the top team preseason. You mentioned Kirby Burkhalter. She's got the potential to hit 1,000 tonight. She needs 5 more points to do it, and that'll be pretty exciting if it were to occur. The regular season against this Virginia Cavalier team has not gone as great as the Dukes had hoped for the last 2 years. But how about that WNIT? That was back in 2011, or rather 2012, I should say, and that was when the Dukes won here at Convo 68-59. This is quickly becoming quite, I guess, rivalry. Charlottesville's 60 miles away exactly. I looked it up this afternoon. From the Convocation Center to the John Paul Jones Arena, it is 60 miles on the dot, and just quite the competition, because both of these two teams are always contenders. Last year, UVA ran into a little bit of trouble with some of their teams that they had to end up playing, and would eventually go 16-14. So they're looking to get this season off to a good start. But so are the JMU Dukes, who have made the postseason the last 8 seasons under head coach Kenny Brooks, and you have to think that that's exactly where they are heading for tonight.
Well, UVA enters this season with high hopes after failing to make the NCAA tournament as well for 3 straight seasons, but that's a program in the women's basketball that's normally used to being up there. They have also typically been good at starting the season as well. They've won their last 8 straight season openers, including in a 78-57 victory over the Dukes last season at John Paul Jones Arena. UVA leads the series with the Dukes 15-7, but JMU has won 3 of the last 5 meetings, including the last 2 games here in the Convo. You mentioned it, a 68-59 victory in March of 2012 in the WNIT, but then go back to my freshman year, December 2010, an 82-80 victory, and Dawn Evans, she put on a show that night, scoring 42 points against the Cavaliers. Tonight, though, UVA is looking to erase those 2 losses. They'll be led by senior guard Tara Franklin and redshirt senior guard Lexi Gerson. Franklin is probably the most talented player on this UVA roster. She finished last season averaging 19 points in her final 6 games and earned all ACC honors. And she did all this while not practicing very much and pushing through a very injury-prone career. She's had 3 knee scopes in those 4 years. Gerson has also played through injury. She missed all of last year recovering from a hip surgery. Gerson is the oldest player on the roster and the only player for the Cavaliers who has NCAA tournament experience, which will be key down later the road. She is a key defensively, and she is, as Coach Boyle calls her, the bread and butter in her famous 1-2-2 zone that we should see a lot of tonight.
We will see both teams take the court here as they work through warm-ups. This Virginia Cavalier freshman class is a top 10 ranked class. They were ranked number 8 by Blue Star Report, and ESPN ranked them at number 9 for signing day last year. It includes Brianna Mason, Tiffany Suarez, as well as Amanda Fioravanti and Sydney Umeri. So we'll see if any of those guys, those young ladies get into the fold here tonight, but that is the top 10 ranked recruiting class for the Virginia Cavaliers. But you talked about it, Houston. They rely so much on, especially I think Tara Franklin and her 14.3 points per game. That is exactly where we will expect to see a lot of points to come from. So we're going to let you enjoy the atmosphere of the Convocation Center and the JMU Pep Band and start wearing purple here. No doubt, one-of-a-kind atmosphere here at the Convocation Center. We'll now pause for the national anthem, also by the JMU Pep Band, as we honor America. with the national anthem tonight. Let's take some time now and go over the starting lineups with Houston Stutz.
Well, we're going to pause quickly. We're going to wait for the teams to get ready, and we'll have those shots for you as they are announced. But yeah, a great atmosphere on hand, very packed combo. Should be an interesting night for basketball, and no better way to get the season started than a very big game at home on opening night. Starting first for the UVA Cavaliers will be 5'10" senior, number 10, Kelsey Wolf. Starting at guard will be number 20, Faith Randolph, 5'10" sophomore from Durwood, Maryland. The big name we've been looking for, also ACC performer Tara Franklin, wearing number 23, a 5'11" senior from Bowie, Maryland. Starting at center will be Sarah Amobio, that's number 42, 6'2" junior from Abuja, Nigeria. And lastly, the freshman, 6'1", number 44 from Ackworth, Georgia, Sydney Umeri. The UVA Cavaliers are coached by Joanne Boyle. She graduated from Duke University in 1984. She's in her third year at UVA with a 41-25 record, 11th year overall, 270 and 129 is her overall record. And now the Duke's going to play the typical Rocky theme as we get ready for the starting lineup for the JMU Dukes, coached by Kenny Brooks, graduated from JMU in 1992. Starting at 4 for the Dukes, the local, wearing number 30, 6'2", redshirt senior from Harrisonburg, Virginia, Nikki Newman. Starting at center, wearing number 33 in white, a 6'3", redshirt junior, transfer from Providence, from Camden, Connecticut, Lauren Okafor. Starting at forward, wearing number 12, she's a 5'8" sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, a sophomore, Precious Hall. Starting at guard, wearing number 20, also from the area, from Bridgewater, Virginia, 6' senior, Kirby Burkholder. Starting at guard, wearing number 24 for the Dukes tonight, from Billington, Virginia, redshirt sophomore, 6'2", Jasmine Wathme. The Dukes again are coached by Kenny Brooks. He graduated from JMU 1992. He's in his 12th year here for the Dukes. He's 252 and 106 with a 70% winning percentage.
So there are your starting lineups as we prepare for tonight's game. It is the first women's basketball game of the season here between the JMU Dukes and the UVA Cavaliers. Second, or I should say third season in a row now that this game has been the first game of the year. Both of the last couple have been in Charlottesville. I got the pleasure to go down there and see both of those opening games. And really, I think if I recall from last year, JMU never really got it going, and they had a lot of trouble with Tara Franklin. So it'd be interesting to see how this comes out, and how JMU will try and stop that poke attack by Franklin of the UVA Cavaliers.
Yeah, they had 28 turnovers, so the Dukes have to limit turnovers and control the basketball. They allowed a season-high 16 steals for the Virginia Cavaliers and 22 assists, so they got to take care of the basketball. But the big surprise for me when I look at the starting lineup for UVA, Kelsey Wolf, a senior guard from Seneca Valley High School in Germantown, Maryland. She tore her ACL in February, and she's already playing a game. Wow. Adrian Peterson, maybe. Female version, we'll see.
It'll be Gualthme in the middle, along with Amobio for the University of Virginia Cavaliers. The tip going to go to UVA. Well, maybe. It was a scrum for it there, but it is pulled up by Wolf. And we're underway at the Convocation Center. A great crowd on hand for this opening game. Inside now goes Randolph, puts it up, and it is in for the first point of the game.
As we guessed, Kenny Brooks going man-to-man early, a little pressure from UVA full court. Dukes don't like to go zone.
First shot for the Dukes is by Burkholder from outside. It doesn't go. Rebound pulled in and taken up court. Handled around by Randolph. Kicks it out to Wolf. Wolf tries to set the offense. Inside now to Amobio, and foul call.
And again, that may be going back to that new rule change where if you touch a defender, you're getting called for. You cannot impede them when they come into the zone or change their direction in any way. So going to be a lot of fouls called early on.
A couple new rules we'll try and let you know about throughout the ball game. That's one of them. Another one that you need to be aware of. 10 seconds as the Wolf will take the shot. It'll fall. UVA out to the 4-0 lead. The next one you should be aware of is now women's basketball for the first time has the rule is that is intercepted by Umeri. Now taken on the other side by Randolph. Outside, shot by Franklin. She'll miss it. Burkholder will pull it in. Women's basketball now has 10 seconds to get it over the midcourt stripe like men's basketball.
And Dukes really need to take it slow down here, down 4-0 early. They just really need to get settled in. We saw in the exhibition game, didn't do so well at that early. It took them a timeout before they got into the flow of things.
There you see another foul.
That's coming off the basketball. We'll see who that's on. It's Jasmine Gwathmey with her first.
2 fouls quickly on the Dukes, and you know, I never got a final tally of total fouls in that exhibition, but it was a lot for the Dukes. I know that much. They probably put Lenore Ryan in the bonus with at least 12 minutes to go in the second half, if I recall, somewhere in that realm. Shot deep by Randolph, and it's pulled down by Burkholder.
UVA runs the Princeton offense, but they're really trying to run it up tempo. They haven't been scared to shoot the ball early.
Mickens will work it around to Burkholder. Now Mickens has it back and over for a 3-point shot from Newman. It's off the rim, but she'll knock it out of the defender's hand and sacrifice herself for it. It goes out of bounds off of her, though, and we'll get our first substitution back in with Precious Hall.
So Nikki Newman, the first body to fly on the new court here at JMU, if you don't want to count the exhibition game.
True. 2 of them, one for the men as well. By the way, if you didn't know, the men are playing UVA as well. We'll try and keep you updated on that one throughout this ball game. Lots of action for the JMU Dukes today. Volleyball is in action. Women's soccer playing in a semifinal game as well. We'll try and keep you updated.
16 minutes left in the first half, 13-5 UVA.
Randolph puts it up, but Gwathmey is going to foul her as she took the shot, and that will be Gwathmey's second foul quickly as we have it just gotten under 18 minutes.
And that's big for the Dukes. Gwathmey, assume she's going to have to come out, and that means Nikki Newman's going to come in and probably go back to that power forward position that she's always played. She is making the adjustment to small forward this year because of the way Gwathmey played last year in her absence. Randolph
will shoot the first one, and she'll make the free throw. There goes Gwathmey, and Nikki Newman will return. So we got Newman, Okafor, Burkholder, Hall, and Mickens for the Dukes. Second foul shot coming from Randolph, and that one will fall as well. It's 6-0 UVA.
So JMU fans on their feet longer than they want full court pressure. Dukes trailing 6-0.
Mickens, there's the ball handling skills we talked about. Remember, she's got 10 seconds now to get it across the court, which is different. Hall from 3, no, but Burkholder will recover it. Now down low, they're going to say Burkholder walked with it.
Tough call.
That'll draw the ire of the Dukes crowd here tonight.
Again, JMU just has not settled down and found their pace yet.
So Wolf takes it up.
They need to stop defensively to really gain that momentum and confidence back.
Wolf working it around. Now we'll trade passes and inside to Umeri. She'll put it up and lays it in. 8-0 UVA.
And that's the Princeton offense. Get it to your center who's at the foul line and then work the backdoor cut for the easy layup. Execute it to perfection there by the Cavaliers.
Newman is trapped. She'll get it to Mickens. Now to Burkholder. Burkholder trying to drive along the end line there, but we'll lose it out of bounds. They're going to say it goes off the UVA defender first, and Lauren Okafor will come out.
Dukes just got it across the half-court line in time there. Used about 9 seconds, and with that 10-second rule, you know it's going to be going through their mind a lot, Taylor, and it looks like they're playing a little frantic early.
Mickens inbounds to Burkholder. Burkholder trying to drive inside, and collision, no foul called. UVA is going to have the ball. Faith Randolph is going to go up and get fouled.
The foul's going to go on Precious Hall.
Yeah, that one's going to go against Hall. That is the 4th foul for the JMU Dukes in the first 16 minutes, or excuse me, we just got under the 3rd minute, into the 4th minute, I should say. And Randolph going to shoot 2 again. She'll put the first one down.
So the crowd's still on their feet and they're not happy.
The tradition, don't sit down until the Dukes score, and the Dukes have not been able to score at this point. UVA has been able to score 10 with that one put in by Randolph.
So Dukes putting themselves in a hole early, and we saw it against Lenore Run when we were here, Taylor. They kept it close, but then eventually they found their way as this ball was dribbled off the feet.
Yeah, Mickens loses it. She'll recover it, though. Now kicks it out. Burkholder wants a three off the back of the rim. Precious Hall recovers it. She'll put it up, and now she's fouled with 16:37 to go. And now the potential to get some very needed points for the Jamie Dukes. So Hall will go to the line.
So 5'8" sophomore from Tallahassee. Shot 85% at the line last year.
There's the first one in. The first points of the game for the JMU Dukes. Hall with her second. It'll go as well. 10-2 UVA. And now JMU will go into a full court offense. Atara Franklin's got it. She'll get it over to Ameri, who will take it up court against Newman. She's in a trap now and loses the ball. Newman's got it. And the JMU Dukes get a turnover. Mickens now running the offense.
And before missing last year with a foot injury, Nikki Newman was the CAA Defensive Player of the Year in 2011. Shows off her skills there.
Mickens going to work it around towards the wing. She'll cross back over the top of the key, gets a pick and will throw it up, but it will fall off the back of the rim. And JMU not getting the shooter's bounce early in this game.
They're 0 for 5 from the field early. UVA, on the other hand, shooting 3 for 5, 60%.
Mobio trades passes back now to Faith Randolph. Randolph over to Franklin. Atara Franklin will work against Kirby Burkholder. And whistle there.
And again, more of that touch foul. We saw it really perfect from this angle, just barely a touch and a foul.
Coach Brooks wants to discuss this one with the referee. But we will take a pause now and hear from some of our sponsors. You're watching Madison HD Sportsnet presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
Jim and John are both covered by the nation's best networks. Jim uses Entelos Wireless. John does not. Jim saves money every month. John does not. And thanks to those savings, Jim has money left over for hula hoops, a little mood music, and access to the rooftop pool. John does not. Entelos Wireless. The difference is savings. Switch now and get unlimited data, text, and talk for just $79.99.
The Residence Inn by Marriott provides guests with plenty of room. Room to recharge. Room to prepare. Room to relax. Stay one night or as long as you like. The Residence Inn by Marriott provides each guest with amenities tailored to their individual needs. Spacious suites with all the comforts of home, because it's not just a room, it's a residence.
The University of Virginia ahead of the JMU Dukes. Fans, join us on Friday, November 15th at 5:30 as we recognize and induct our newest class of distinguished JMU athletes and coaches into the JMU Athletics Hall of Fame. To reserve your spot, visit jmusports.com/Hall of Fame or call 568-DUKE.
Well, the JMU men's basketball team is in action in Charlottesville at the JP Che. Last I checked, it was 13-10. The Cavaliers on top at the first media timeout, so they're on pace with us here as well. Some quick stats from before the first media timeout. Again, UVA shooting 3 for 5, 60%, 4 for 4 at the line. Dukes 0 for 5 from the field, and 2 for 2 at the line.
UVA has the ball here. Franklin trying to call for somebody to come grab the ball, and she'll get it over to Wolf at the top of the key. Guarded by Mickens.
Both teams still have a goose egg behind the arc line.
Wolf trying to find somewhere to go with it. She'll go inside to Umeri, who will put it up, and it'll bounce around, and a foul called.
It's going to go against UVA.
It will go against UVA, and Mickens will pull that one down. Turn over there. A couple other things we do want to keep you aware of here tonight. JMU women's soccer CAA semifinal playing against Hofstra to try and get some scores for you there. I think some of the stat software is down, but we'll work to get information from that, as well as volleyball. Inside now, Okafor tried to put it up, and she'll recover her own pass, will put it up and get fouled.
Count the basket. She's going to go the line for one. The Dukes are playing. They have the height advantage against the UVA Cavaliers, who their tallest player is 6'2" on the roster, while Laura Okafor is 6'3", so she's got the height advantage. We'll see if the Dukes try and hammer it more inside to the Providence transfer.
Substitution for UVA, Tara Franklin will come out. Rayshawn Gaffney will come in for the Cavaliers, and Okafor will shoot one more to finish off the three-point play potential. It'll bounce around, so it'll remain 10-4, but Burkholder will gather it up and will reset the offense. Mickens gets it over to the wing, and Burkholder now around to Newman inside the twig. Now around Burkholder trying to work inside Jiggett.
Looks like the ball may have been kicked from this angle. No kick ball, but there it looks like there's going to be a foul in the paint.
Ball will stay with JMU. Inbounding is Mickens to the top of the key. Jiggett gets it over back to Mickens, who will shoot with 4 on the shot clock. It'll bounce around, and that's going in.
She got the shooter's roll. Good thing she's in the combo. I believe the fans' noise may have pushed that ball in.
Now, some pressure by JMU. Gets it up court, and Randolph wanted to go all the way to the basket and then get it back inside, but a foul called. Randolph looked like she just ran a couple too many steps.
They do call the foul, and again, it is early in the season. The refs are still trying to get acclimated to this new rule about the fouls. As you see there, didn't look like a foul, but she did impede the ground of Randolph, so it is considered a foul. And early on, it looks like it's going to be a lot of stoppage, and of course, the fans are not going to like it. So if you're a fan, I don't believe you're in favor of these new rule changes.
6 fouls on the Dukes so far, 3 on the UVA Cavaliers. It's for 3, and Randolph bounces off the back of the iron. And a foul called against UVA.
That'll be on number 33, Rayshawn Gaffney, 5'8" redshirt freshman from Fairfield, Ohio, making her collegiate debut tonight for the Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers are a small team, but 2 over-the-back calls early on. So they have 4 team fouls to the Dukes 6.
Newman's got it now after receiving a pass from Jiggett. Around now to Burkholder. Mickens at the top of the key. Tried to get it to Newman, and the pass is loose. Kelsey Wolf will gather it up for the Cavaliers. Gaffney's got it now. Tries to drive inside. Will get it over Faith Randolph. Randolph stops and pops off the back of the iron and pulled down by Mary and loses it. Mickens has got it. Mickens is going 1 versus 2 in the paint against the Cavaliers, and then they'll reset the offense now. Destiny Jones wants the shot. She's got it from the wing.
It's big that Destiny Jones get involved in the offense. We didn't see much of her last year involved, but this year she's going to step up, and there you see it, her first bucket of the night.
Wolf's going to work it around now. Faith Randolph has got it. Randolph clearly now such a big part of this offense is the sophomore. She's got it now down low against Jones. She walked with it. Traveling violation.
She shuffled her feet before she put the ball on the ground. Easy call for the referee to make right here at our perspective.
Tara Franklin comes back in. Faith Randolph will head off.
So the Dukes on an 8-0 run after falling behind early, 10-0. So it's been a game of runs so far. The Dukes will look to top it off here and tie the longest run of the night.
Burkholder's got it now outside the three-point arc. She's trying to get away from the defender. Around to Mickens and Newman. Newman kicks it back out to Mickens. Now to Burkholder. Jamie trying to run the offense here against a tough defense. And they're going to call it for UVA. It's going to be off of Burkholder.
See if we have a replay of it, but the referees, they were a little questionable about it. They didn't know what was going on either.
No, they did not. Now it's UVA's turn to try and end the run. Tara Franklin be a good candidate to do that. She'll kick it off, though. Now to Gaffney over on the near side. Gaffney to Gerson. Gerson working around and into the paint, loses the handle, and Nikki Newman trying to get a walk call out of it, but instead it'll be a foul call on the Jamie Dukes.
I believe it's
7.
It's going to go on Jiggets. So Toya Jiggets with her first foul of the night. Jiggets, a 6-foot junior from Norfolk, Virginia, not in the starting lineup tonight for the Dukes.
I'll send Lexi Gerson to the free throw line. Gerson, last year a 79% shooter. She'll make the first one.
Again, coming off a hip surgery. So she missed all of last season for the Cavaliers.
Second one is up, and that one is through as well. 12:21 to go. It's 12-8. UVA up over Jamie Dukes. Mickens now trying to work it around and up over the court. Mickens gets through with their ball handling skills. Now to Burkholder, shoots it. It's off the rim. Jiggets got it back, put it up, and is fouled.
Jiggets is 6 foot tall, but she plays like she's 6'4". The girl is certainly not built like a center, but she plays like one. Has very nice moves with her back to the basket, and she can rebound the basketball. There you see there, rebounding the shot from Kirby. She gets in there and jumps with the big girls and then goes up strong for the foul.
Jiggets makes the first one to close the gap to 3. That's the 5th foul on UVA. Next one by Jiggets, and that one will go through as well to 2-point ball game, 12-10. Up court now goes Gaffney. Gaffney gets it off to Franklin. Franklin to try and go inside. Instead, we'll kick it out to Wolf, who wants a 3. Wolf off of the rim and pulled down by Destiny Jones.
Good coverage on the 3 ball by Burkholder, but Wolf still wanted to take it.
Mickens around to Burkholder now. They'll work it around the horn, and now Newman will get it back to Mickens. Inside to Toya Jiggets. She'll put it up through pressure, and she's got the foul.
Again, that's what the Dukes need to be doing, going to Jiggets down low. The outside shot has not been working for the Dukes, 0 for 4. Both teams actually 0 for 4, and there you see Jiggets working hard inside.
So 11:41 to go. It's 12-10, UVA leading. And the foul trouble, I think, a big story at this point. But we got another story for you. We want to hear a little bit about Kenny Brooks. And for that, we'll go to Tracy Smith. Hi, Tracy.
Gentlemen, are you ready? On your mark, get set, and go! And both free throw layup. That's okay, you got an excellent hold on to the free throw line. Engineer Major super smart, gonna make that layup. Carlos still, yes, all right. They are back at the free throw line. Both strokes one. You okay? She's quick, she's good. And they're making their free throw.
All right, Tracy, thank you. 12-10, UVA. And I think so far, Houston, we've seen the new foul rules come into play a few times. And the other thing I think we've seen is the 10-second rule, which is new for women's basketball this year. It seems like it's playing at least a minor role in so far because you know, these teams, they seem like they're kind of rushing to get things up across the court because these young ladies have never had to judge 10 seconds in their head like the men do.
Right. When you play basketball and you put that 10 seconds into your head, it makes you feel like it's going to happen just like that. You count off 10 seconds right now, it's going to fly by. But when you're out there in the court, you need to realize that you've got all the time in the world that you need to get it across half court. So really, it shouldn't be a problem. But again, like you said, you put the 10 seconds in your head, and it's going to make you work a little bit more frantically.
Toya Jiggets will shoot 2. She'll make the first one. Jasmine Gualthamy going to come back in for Nikki Newman. Remember, Gualthamy has the 2 fouls already. And that's why we've seen her have a little bit of absence. Jiggets trying for the second one. She's got it. We got a tie ball game, 12-all. UVA and JMU. Up court comes Gaffney. Gaffney works it around. Tara Franklin inside now to Amobio. Back out Franklin, wants a 3. It rolls around, it's knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say it goes off a Cavalier. So JMU will get it back off the turnover there, and Mickens will work it up court, potentially working for the first lead of the ball game for the JMU Dukes. Burkholder around Jiggets, now Mickens. Top of the key, tries to set the offense up the way she wants it. Around now, Burkholder gonna get trapped in the corner. Burkholder tries to get it off of one of the Cavaliers' legs, and she does. JMU will keep it.
Virginia very aware of Kirby Burkholder and the skills that she possesses. They're not giving her any openings. She has got a few though. She's thrown up 2 shots behind the arc, hadn't made either one.
Jiggets kind of fumbles with the ball. She'll kick it out to Gwaltney. Gwaltney now to Mickens. Mickens will travel with the basketball.
So again, she took the stutter step early. And so Gwaltney back in with 2 fouls, 11 minutes remaining in the first half. She needs to go the last 11 minutes without getting anything. So we'll see if the UVA Cavaliers try and pressure Gwaltney and take the ball at her because they know she's going to back off.
Gaffney now works it around to Faith Randolph. Back around to Lexi Gerson at the top. She'll get it over into the corner to Gaffney. And they'll trade passes. Gaffney, big shot there. She missed it, pulled down by Jiggets.
So after the early on domination by the Cavaliers, Duke's going against Kenny Brooks' philosophy and running a 2-3 zone to try and keep the Cavaliers outside.
Gwaltney gets intercepted by Gerson, and Gerson going to get it off to Franklin. They'll trade passes. Gerson wants a 3. It's off of the rim, no good. Back inbounds, though, by Randolph, and UVA will get another chance at the offense.
Looked like the ball bounced on the line. The Dukes just hung back, and it's not too far from where we're sitting at, Taylor.
Inside, tipped around and back out. Faith Randolph's got it, and the walking has begun again for the Cavaliers.
Not sure if these referees were big fans of the disco or not, but they're certainly turning their arms a lot tonight. A lot of stutter steps being taken early by both teams.
Inbound from Jiggets goes to Mickens, who will work it up court against Atara Franklin. Mickens now trying to get trapped, but with those ball handling skills, she just cuts through the Virginia defense, but then throws the interception over to Franklin. Franklin now goes full court pass to Gaffney. Gaffney puts it up. That's going to be a foul, and it's going to be number 3 on Jasmine Gwaltney.
So now if you're Coach Brooks, I believe it's going to be safe to say that Gwaltney is going to sit the rest of this half.
She was going one-on-one with Gaffney after the long pass. Gaffney now with a couple free throw opportunities. The first one's going to fall. And Newman will sub in for Gwaltney.
You don't like getting the foul if you're Coach Brooks, but at least you're making them earn their points at the foul line rather than giving them the easy layup.
Such a tough situation. Gwaltney was the only one there. Second one falls for Gaffney. We'll get a substitution. Kelsey Wolf will come back on, and Gaffney will go off.
If this is 1 year ago, you're a little bit more hurt if you're Coach Brooks because you don't have Nikki Newman. But now you have Nikki to go to that power forward spot, her natural position. Still tough to lose Jasmine, but not the worst.
A couple long passes. Now Newman's got it back out to Jiggets. Now to Mickens.
She about took an extra step.
To Newman now. Newman trying to pass it off. Mickens into the wing. That's knocked out of bounds by Wolf, and it'll stay with JMU.
UVA playing very strong defensively early, forcing the Dukes into a lot of bad decisions. The trap has been working great for Coach Joanne Boyle. Again, Duke University graduate, played basketball for the Blue Devils.
5 seconds to shoot. Burkholder down low, and she is going to put it up and be fouled.
She's going to go to the line and shoot too. She is the leading free throw shooter for the Dukes as of last season. She shot 88%, just in front of Precious Hall, who shot 86. So the first free throw attempts for Burkholder.
She'll make it fall, and we'll see Sarah Beth Barnett for the first time subbing in for Sydney Umeri for the UVA Cavaliers. Burkholder will have one more chance to tie the ball game. She does.
She counts it, so 3 points away for Kirby Burkholder. A tray will do it to put her at the 1,000-part mark. So that was basket number 997 for the senior.
Franklin will set the offense up. Here comes Wolf around to Gerson. Wolf at the top of the key will kick it out to Faith Randolph. Barnett to Randolph. They'll trade a pass. Backs up does Randolph with 6 to shoot. Kicks it out. Gerson wants a three, and it's off the front of the rim, and rebound goes to Burkholder.
So both teams will stay scoreless from behind the arc.
Burkholder's got it now. Round to Mickens.
UVA 0 for 8 behind the arc, Taylor. A lot of three-point attempts thrown up.
JMU 0 for 4. Into the corner trap. Destiny Jones has got it out of it. Oh, no, she will miss it off around the rim. Jiggets will get it back into Burkholder. Burkholder puts it up, and it'll bounce off, and it is rebounded by Virginia.
Not a very strong layup by Burkholder.
Long pass up to Randolph now. Randolph driving in. She'll put it up, and she's fouled. That'll be foul number 9 on the Dukes.
Destiny Jones was in the middle of the lane, but she was trying to find her man rather than find the basketball. She was the first one back. She should have turned around and guarded the basket, but instead she finds her man, and that opens up the middle of the floor for Randolph.
Randolph heading to the line now, 4 of 4 on free throws tonight. Total 6 points. She is leading all scorers now. Puts it up, and that one is in.
While we have a break in the action for a second, women's soccer, JMU and Hofstra tied at 1 at halftime.
One more free throw. Randolph is up, and that one is in for Faith Randolph.
Other women's basketball scores. Final, Delaware cruises past Rhode Island, 64-43. Navy beats Townsend by 1. And Hofstra and Robert Morris are tied at 17 with 11 minutes remaining in the first half.
JMU passes around Newman into the wing now. That pass almost intercepted, but Mickens got it. Mickens with the ball handling, puts it up and in.
Nice move by Angela Mickens, and she gets 2.
On the other side now, Tara Franklin gets a pick from Barnett on Newman. Now Franklin trying to go inside, has to kick it out to Randolph. Randolph puts it up against Newman. It falls and is recovered, and then Jiggets is going to put it up. Now to Mickens on the semi-fast break, puts it up, and she'll miss it, and it's recovered by Randolph, and then it's going to be a jump ball. Jump ball, possession arrow, JMU.
And that just got everybody on their feet, and that's going to put a lot of motivation into this team. The way that Kirby was strong with the basketball, she didn't let go and threw the Cavalier to the floor.
Timeout on the court. It's a tied ball game, 16-16. We'll be back. You're watching Madison HD Sportsnet presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
I knew going to JMU would be more about just getting a master's.
I just knew that it was the place for me.
I feel as though that I'm a part of the institution.
You will never meet a stranger. Everyone is always willing to help you out and to help you through your graduate experience here at James Madison University.
The graduate school here is a great choice.
The education that you receive is top-notch.
It's one of the best in the country. And from here, everything is possible.
Instead of asking yourself, where did those 4 years go? Think about where the next 40 will take you. Be involved at Madison. Dukes from day one, alumni for life.
The Dukes tied with the UVA Cavaliers, 16 apiece.
Some stats with 7:30 remaining. Leading scorer for the UVA Cavaliers, Faith Randolph. She's got 8. The rest of the Cavaliers that have scored all have 2. Sydney Umari, Kelsey Wolf, Lexi Gerson, and Rayshawn Gaffney. So the Dukes keeping that Tara Franklin off the glass early on. Nikki Newman does not have any points for the Dukes, but Lauren Okafor, Precious All, and Kirby Burkholder all have 2, as well as Destiny Jones. Toya Jiggets and Angela Mickens have 4 for the James Madison Dukes. Dukes shooting 28.6%. Cavaliers shooting just over 21.
Burkholder's got it now, top of the key. She needs that 1 point. She'll lose the basketball, and whistle and a stoppage of play. Foul called, and it's going to go against the Cavaliers. That'll be on Gerson, her second.
So foul trouble could come into play in this game before it's over with.
Here comes Kirby Burkholder to the line. She's got 4 points. She's got 5, and that is 1,000. Excuse me, that's number 3. I got excited. I got excited, and every point that Kirby makes, I think, is a 3. Now she's 1 away.
999 with that free throw by Kirby Burkholder. On the men's side of things, the JMU men's basketball Dukes are trailing the Cavaliers 23-11 at the JPJ in Charlottesville, exactly 60 miles away, as Taylor pointed out earlier.
I was interested, so I Google searched it. Sure enough. Up court now. Wolf getting trapped by 3 Dukes, but somehow gets the ball to Franklin. Now Barnett's got it. Randolph trying to shoot from the wing, and it is off the rim, pulled down. Jones gets it up now to Mickens. Around to Burkholder. Burkholder for 3. It'll bounce off, and it is pulled in by Atara Franklin, who thought she was going to get it. But then Burkholder came in and just slapped it off of Franklin. JMU keeps it.
And JMU with the hustle play there by Kirby Burkholder.
So inbound coming from Mickens. It'll go into Jiggets, who will kick it back out to Mickens. Mickens wants to drive inside with it. She'll put it up. It'll bounce off the inside part of the rim. Jiggets gets big, gets in there, kicks it out to Burkholder. Burkholder will put it up over Barnett and is fouled.
So she's going to the line for 1, or excuse me, for 2, but if she gets 1, it could be very big.
Can I say it this time? Am I going to be right?
You'll be right. Let's see.
1 point away from 1,000 points. Kirby Burkholder at the line, shooting 2. Burkholder, 1,000 points.
It's good for Kirby Burkholder. The Bridgewater native joins the 1,000 point club here at James Madison University.
5 points now on the night for her. She can make it 6 and 1,001 with this free throw. She's got it.
It's good.
JMU takes a lead. 2016 now, under the full court press. And up court now goes Wolf to Barnett under the trap. It's tipped away. JMU tries to grab it back. Now it's a scrum for the basketball and jump basketball.
Give them pads. UVA plays North Carolina in football this week, but it looks like they're playing the Dukes.
Possession arrow does favor UVA, but I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure on that last little scrum for the basketball, every player on the court touched it.
I believe you're correct.
Inbound coming from Franklin. She'll go back to Wolf. Wolf will have to cross the line again at midcourt. And that new JMU logo across the middle. Barnett now has it around to Randolph with 7 to shoot. Randolph going to drive it inside. She'll put it up, and it's short. Newman's got it. Will hand it off to Mickens to take it up court.
The pep band was chanting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 a little early, and I believe that forced her to throw up the shot, even though she had 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Burkholder works it around to Mickens. Obviously, she has never played in the Convocation Center, unfortunately.
The madhouse, as they call it.
And it is going to be a foul called, no shot. That'll be foul number 10 on UVA, and all of a sudden UVA has overtaken the JMU Dukes for fouls, 10-9. The Dukes with 9, excuse me. And Burkholder will go back to the line. She's got 6 tonight. Now one will roll around the rim. Virginia's substitution will be Faith Randolph coming off and Rayshawn Gaffney going on.
Last year, Kirby Burkholder led the Dukes against UVA with 25 points. She's got 6 tonight.
That one will fall as well. Another free throw. And inbound being handled by Gaffney around to Umeri. Tries to drive, and a blocking foul going to be called on Jiggets, and going to the line now will be Gaffney.
See if she had her foot on that no charge circle. Here's the replay. She's set. Doesn't look like a very good call by the referees, but maybe when she put her hand out extended to catch her fall, maybe that's what set it off for the referee. She's just got to kind of take it and use the butt as a cushion.
That was the 10th foul on JMU. Jiggins will come off, and Ross will go on.
Haven't seen much of Crystal Ross. It's her first time in the lineup for the Dukes.
Another one coming from Gaffney. It will bounce around. Burkholder with the rebound. Up court goes Mickens now. JMU with the lead, 21-16. 5:35 to go. Mickens working it around to Destiny Jones. Newman works it around Mickens. Jones, Ross, inside, Ross up, but it bounces around. That was a good set, though, down in the paint by the Dukes.
Great set. Ross just a little too strong on anticipating that contact in the paint.
Gaffney now, top of the key, working against Burkholder. 5:10 and counting to go in the first half. Gaffney works it out to Tara Franklin. Franklin will try and drive in against Newman. She'll back out, get it to Gaffney. Gaffney now against Jones. Gaffney will walk.
So the Dukes will get the basketball back. Dukes only have 2 points off turnovers, though. And that'll be the 6th turnover for UVA. Dukes have 9 early in this game. Again, they set opponent high for UVA last year with 28 in the game at the JPJ.
Newman wants her first points. It's off the back of the rim. And that'll be foul called.
It's a charge.
JMU gets it back.
So Tara Franklin will get her 2nd foul for the UVA Cavaliers.
Franklin, by the way, held to 0 points up until this point. That'll take her off the court. Faith Randolph back on. Mickens now will work it with 4:37 around to Burkholder. To Mickens, now Jones. Jones over towards the corner. Now Mickens towards the top of the key.
Mickens is so quick, you have to respect that fake she's got when she wants to pass the basketball.
Newman loses it for a second, will kick it out and recovered. Now long three. Burkholder got it.
She hit that from Duke Dog's mouth, right in front of the UVA bench, right in front of Joanne Boyle. Deep three for Kirby Burkholder, and that will probably get her going. The first 3 of the game, actually.
Her 10th point. Barnett got it on the other side. That was a massive 3 and a great momentum builder for the Dukes. Wolf now working it around. Gaffney wants the shot. She's got it, falling over a falling Nikki Newman. They both hit the ground on that. Up court now goes Mickens. 24-18, JMU leading. Burkholder trying to work it around. Almost intercepted. That's not the first time that's happened. Burkholder for 3. It's off the back iron. Recovered by the Dukes. Knocked by Newman to Mickens. Now Newman has it over towards the wing. Over into the corner, Burkholder back to the top, and Mickens inside to Jones. Jones, if she had turned around, probably had an open shot. Gets it out to Burkholder, though. Now to Jones, and the ball is loose, heading out of bounds, but the Dukes keep it. 3:14 to go, 24-18, JMU leading. And you just saw her there a moment ago, but Nikki Newman has returned to the Dukes lineup since getting hurt against Duquesne last year. And now we'll hear more on her from Bree Berry. All right, Bree, thank you. 24-18, JMU leading the Cavaliers. Burkholder, they just announced it before we went to Bree that she did hit point number 1,000. She's got 10 so far in the game. And just, there's no doubt that she'll go down in history as one of the best Dukes to play alongside Nikki Newman.
most certainly. And Tariq Hislop, Dawn Evans, just year after year, JMU puts out these great basketball players.
Again, we'll keep you updated on some other scores that are happening around JMU Nation here tonight. Recap of the scoring so far. It's Burkholder with 10. For the Cavaliers, leading scorer is Faith Randolph with 8. Foul trouble early for everybody. Everybody's got plus 10 fouls. Guelph with her 3 fouls has to hang out on the bench for what we can only assume will be the remainder of this half. As we restart play, Mickens to Burkholder. Burkholder back over to Mickens towards the wing. Mickens wants to drive inside, kicks it out to an open Newman. Back to Mickens now with 5 to shoot. Inside, Destiny Jones. Good layup by Jones.
So for Kirby Burkholder breaking to 25th on the career points list for the JMU Dukes, holding it currently 1,091 points. Julie Franken, she played from 83 to 87, so 86 more if she wants to move into the top 25 in points.
Something tells me she might hit just 86 this season, maybe. But Burkholder, certainly a big night for her nonetheless. Sydney Umeri traveled there, and so the Dukes will get it back. Newman kind of pump fake there. We'll get it to Burkholder, though. Crystal Ross is in for the Dukes as well. Jones and Mickens, the 5 on the court. Here comes Ross over to Newman for 3. Newman's got it. Nikki Newman with her first 3 of this season.
And just to give you a hint how many points she scored in one season, last year, Taylor, she hit 539 points. That's good for 11th best in all-time season points.
3 points on the other end by Faith Randolph. That's a huge three-pointer there, 29-21. By the way, in that exhibition game, Newman didn't score a point. So that is literally her first 3 points of the season in any type of competition.
And she certainly has needed that.
A whistle and a foul on the other end, and JMU will keep it.
She's known for her defensive skills, but again, Nikki Newman, when she gets on the scoreboard, it's always a fairly good night for the James Madison Dukes.
Mickens will inbound. We understand there might have been some problems with Tracy and Bree's report. We're sorry about that. We'll try and get it fixed for the second half, as they'll give us some key information then as well. So we apologize for that. This is going to be a foul called. Burkholder inside there. And the foul will be called on Sarah Beth Barnett. It's her second. Burkholder will shoot 2 here, and the first one will fall.
So Kirby got off to a slow start, but now she's really starting to take control of this game. She's the first player to double digits for either squad.
Burkholder going for number 2, and point 31 will make it a 10-point lead, and she does. JMU up 31-21 with under 2 minutes to play. Now up court comes Jaron Garner for the first time for the Virginia Cavaliers. And Garner going to work it around Mickens. Inside now Randolph. Randolph been the big player, as you see there, with a shot from the free throw line. That is her 13th point. She now leads all scorers. She's been huge tonight for the Cavaliers.
Excuse myself. Randolph actually beat Burkholder to double digits. She now has 13.
That shot up by Destiny Jones, missed it. Ross had the putback opportunity, but it falls off the front of the rim. Barnett to Randolph. Randolph wants a big 3. It's off the back iron and pulled down by the Cavaliers, and it will stay with Atara Franklin down low.
Franklin battled, but no, the possession error goes to the Dukes.
Yep, so JMU will get it back here with 1:10 to go.
She was probably looking for a foul, though. It didn't look like the Dukes even had possession or touching the basketball.
Originally, I thought that was what it was going to be. I didn't see, like you said, anybody touching it, but sure enough, it's a jump ball situation. Under a minute to play now. Burkholder works it around. Mickens tries to get it back over to the Burkholder in the corner. She'll put it up as she's running, and foul called.
She went down hard. to the new floor here at the Convocation Center, the first new designed floor at least since 2003, and I believe that was the last time the Dukes had actual JMU on their front of their jerseys rather than James Madison.
You know, and I find that kind of interesting. I do recall last year after a big win, Coach Kenny Brooks said that he really likes having James Madison on the front of it because he likes when people see the highlights or are able to watch it if they beat a big team, which is, you know, fairly common for this JMU squad. He likes them to see James Madison. So I guess I'm a little interested to see that they did change the jerseys up a little bit.
They certainly stand out compared to the men's uniforms. Their new home white uniforms as well. They have JMU on the front, but they're not in our stitched block logo, and their names on the back are even tough to read, but very nice design on the jerseys. Easily recognizable for the JMU Dukes. They stand out with that white and purple combination.
Probably a good thing that it's the home team that has lettering like that for the benefit of you and Kurt Dudley in the future.
And yourself for at least now.
For at least now, yeah. At the moment.
I'm sure he'll call you back at some point over the Christmas break.
We'll see if I get called up from the bench again.
Don't make it sound so negative there, Taylor.
Inbound coming for UVA against full court pressure. Big toss there by Umeri all the way up Franklin. She'll get it over to Sarah Beth Barnett, but then they'll reset. Couldn't get a shot out of that good series of passes. And now Garner will handle it back out against Mickens, top of the key. Over to Randolph. Randolph loses it. Burkholder tips it over. Now Destiny Jones. Jones will put it up on the other end, and she's got it.
I was going to tap you on the shoulder. It looked like Kirby Burkholder was down for the count. But
I knew exactly what she tapped me for. It worried me. Randolph on the other end. She missed it. I was watching the other end. I knew exactly what might be happening on this end. I'm glad what I thought happened didn't happen. Franklin's shot is missed and pulled down by Newman with 9.7 seconds left. Timeout is called by James Madison. Yeah, Burkholder, she spent a couple extra seconds on the floor while Jones converted that opportunity there.
But looking back at it, it was just more of a, all right, let me stay on the floor while I can and get a breather, because she hopped up and she had a grin on her face as soon as she saw the layup go in.
Huge smile as Destiny Jones gets her 6th point of the game. She is currently I believe she has the 2nd most points for the JMU Dukes. Quick timeout here with 9.7 seconds. Kenny Brooks wants to get his team a couple more points, maybe 3 even, before we head to halftime.
Very smart play by Coach Brooks to get that timeout in.
Mickens with 4 seconds, out to Newman. Newman gonna drive the baseline, and then she puts it up, and charge called. So they can't convert the opportunity, and in fact leave 1.3 seconds left for the Cavaliers to do something with it.
So that'll be Nikki's 2nd.
Inbound coming from Umeri all the way at Tara Franklin. Gonna shoot from half court. It's gonna be short, and that will end the first half. Got her first half for the Dukes after they got their footing. It's 33-23 as we head into halftime. And so far, you know, they had that rough start. I don't want to call it a rough start, but they had a slow start.
Slow is a good way to put it. The Dukes they went into it completely. They didn't know what they were doing. Just a little bit frantic, which you can expect the first couple minutes in your own building in a real game, a really big atmosphere. This is more of a late season crowd on hand here, and a late season opponent. How many times have we seen Virginia come to open up the season? A big game on your home floor to open the season. Not typical. Normally this is a WNIT matchup or late December out of conference game.
I'm excited. You mentioned the atmosphere. I'm excited to see what the attendance figure is going to be. You take a look at the sideline, the stands on the opposite side with all of our camera angles, but the side that all of our operations are on is filled. And I'm very impressed with the turnout here tonight. You know, UVA has traveled decently, I would say, but overall, this is mostly purple and gold out here tonight. So we'll take a timeout, and we'll come back. Houston and I will. A little bit of time left in halftime to give you a rundown on some stats But for now, you're watching Madison HD Sportsnet presented by the JMU Alumni Association.
Visit the James Madison University Bookstore, your source for all